Hello, my wonderful people. Welcome back to another episode on my forever world. The world that I have been on for about, I don't know how many days? 2,324. That is right. Welcome. If you're new here, my name is Blue, hence the channel name, Adventures with Moi, aka Blue. Welcome. The plans for today's episode include a block which is currently getting a lot of attention, and that block is copper. That's right. I don't use this block that much, and that's kind of because there's really two colors of copper, and there's really two, I think there's slabs, and there's doors, I believe, and there's trapdoors, and there's solid blocks. But in a soon to come out update, there's gonna be way more things with copper. I know you've seen the stuff if you're on YouTube or Twitter. Obviously you have YouTube, and if you're big into the Minecraft community, you know that we're getting things such as copper torches. We're getting sorry, I don't actually watch the snapshot videos because I try not to, spoil it too much for me, but I do know there's tons of copper stuff coming out. More variants. I believe, are we getting copper walls? I think there's just so much copper stuff that's coming out, guys. It's ridiculous. But we need to get prepared for copper to come out, because currently I don't have a fantastic way of getting copper. You see, at the moment, my main source of copper that I usually use, hello Casper. Sorry, that's Casper the coward, not cowardly, friendly ghast. There he is. But my main way to get copper is trial chambers, and that's not a very good way to go about it, because I have to go find one, and then I gotta go mine everything out of it. I have to go far away somewhere, because this world was made before trial chambers came out, so it's kind of inconvenient. And my main way of oxidizing at the moment is just placing it in a random patch of grass somewhere. And then I'm trying to also experiment with ways to make it oxidize better, but I'm not quite sure what the it just oxidized right in front of us. That was crazy. But yeah, I'm not too sure what the fastest way is. I think maybe if you stack them on top of each other, maybe it's faster. I know they influence other ones, but I just don't really understand how it works. So maybe we're gonna be learning some of that today. But we're gonna make it much more accessible for us. And one of the first ways that we're going to do it is, well, the first thing that we're going to do today, which is a super smelter. If you watched whatever episode this was, where I made this giant kelp farm that goes into these furnaces, that the furnaces then cook the kelp with the dried kelp that the furnaces have made. Then the dried kelp goes into here to where it gets auto-crafted into a dried kelp block, and then gets put back into the furnaces. And then whatever's left over goes into this chest. Well, there was a reason for this, and we're going to be doing that today with the super smelter. These dried kelp blocks are going to be our main source of fuel. So when we go to smelt something, there will already be fuel in there. Of course, I got to make sure I don't overuse it, but I don't think that'll be much of a problem. If I'm thinking of the math correctly, one dried kelp block smelts 10 items, I'm pretty sure. So, I'm pretty sure let's see. I believe dried kelp can smelt 10 stacks of items. One stack of dried kelp can smelt 10 stacks of something, which is amazing. So for us, which I have conveniently placed this copper ore chest right here, believe it or not, this is all the copper ore I have at the moment. I've kind of just ignored copper ore, to be honest. There's plenty more underground that I have not mined. But let's just say we need to make a stack of copper blocks. Well, all it takes is a little more than... No. Yeah, it just takes one stack of dried kelp blocks to get us a stack of copper blocks. Right? I think. Am I mathing correctly? I don't know. But let's just make this thing. I'm not super great at making super smelters, but I've learned quite a bit of redstone recently on my own, just figuring things out. So I think we can handle it. So yeah, let's get started. Now, what we're doing isn't actually that complicated. once you get past the actual the complex redstone part, and that is the minecart hopper loader mechanism, which actually isn't that hard. I honestly just added mechanism at the end because it sounded cool. Aha. So all we're using here is this one redstone spec. Now normally you'd assume, oh, it's gonna get powered, there's tons of stuff in here. Wrong, because we are subtracting with this furnace right here, and I like using furnaces because that's just what I've always used, what I've taught myself to use, and it uses way less space than a chest, and way less items. But I have it all set up. Over there, I have 16 furnaces. That is how big the smelter is gonna be, is 16 furnaces. So watch this, alright? 8 dried kelp blocks, nothing. 12 dried kelp blocks, nothing. 16, boom. There it goes. And actually, whoops, hold on, forgot. Let's pretend that all these dried kelp blocks are going into a furnace. Into a furnace, bop, and then it is stopped. And it will only go back whenever it is, whoops, wrong one. It'll only go back whenever it is filled. Oh, let me get there. Oh, man. But yeah, you get the point. It's super easy. Now, all we gotta do is just connect everything and probably repeat the system again for the loading of the other stuff. The stuff we're putting in to get smelted. The next part of this super smelter that we need to do is the stuff that we're gonna actually be smelting. And of course, placing all the hoppers and moving the furnaces, which I have already done. I've already got the loader too for all the stuff. So, I mean, this thing's pretty much done, but let me show you guys a few different things. I have made a overflow turn-off thingy. That's something I like to do to prevent lag or other things I don't expect. So right here, if this hopper gets 64 dried kelp blocks, it'll have enough signal to reach this repeater right here, and it will keep this redstone torch on permanently. Which means that it won't overflow too much. The minecart won't be running for no reason. Now, that might take a very, very, very long time, because, oh, I'm picking up tons of kelp. Whoops, there we go. That might take a really, really long time, which is okay, but if we don't use it for a while, it might, you know, eventually get there. Now, the next part is our resource area, the things that we want to smelt. And it's very much like the fuel area over here, except a little different. You see, that one, it needs a certain number of kelp blocks to be in there for it to be sent off. This one, not really, a little bit different, okay? How this one works is it doesn't need a certain amount. It just needs any amounts to be in there. So, if there's anything in this minecart hopper, it can be one singular bit, one piece of copper ore, or it can be several stacks of copper ore. It doesn't matter, it'll still get sent off. And pretty much how this works, it detects it, and then immediately, and these are long pulses because it gives it more time to fill up, and I've made it enough, a long enough pulse that exactly 16 goes into this minecart, and that's how many furnaces we have. But yeah, super, super simple, and then all the hoppers is obviously simple. No more mumbo-jumbo about all this redstone stuff, okay? It's time to give it a on-camera test run with our copper. Here we go, let's mine all this copper. We have an absolutely ridiculous amount of copper. It's time to put it all in the chest. Here we go. So there's one stack, and there goes the hopper. See it delayed a little bit, and watch, all of them will turn on. All of them should have exactly one. Look at that, exactly one. Now they're gonna have two, obviously. It's so perfect. And now, ooh, not my arrows. Whoops, there we go. Just fill this sucker up. Oh, baby. Boom. Let me show you guys again. Watch. This minecart hopper is going to have exactly 16. Boom! That makes me so happy. And look how fast it is. I've already smelted this stuff before, but we just put this copper in. We just put it all in. Oh my goodness. We already have almost a stack, and it's only been... Oh, here's the rest of it. Here, I just want to see just the copper. Look at that. That's like a stack in like 20 seconds, maybe? It's ridiculous. Oh my goodness, it is so freaking fast. Now, I know there's faster designs out there. I could have added more furnaces and stuff, but this is a solo world. You know, I'm not in that big of a hurry. You know, it's no biggie. Worst case scenario, I go AFK for a little bit. I go get a snack. No biggie. But, I mean, that's pretty fast for me. That's almost 2 stacks. Watch. Each time... Okay, think about this. Since it's 16 at a time, it means it's about 4 runs for a stack. There's another stack. Jeez, it is so freaking fast. I need to time it. I really need to time it. Oh man, but we're gonna have so much copper. It's just gonna keep on emptying. It looks a little bit slower when you just look in the chest, but yeah, this is very, very, very satisfying. Oh baby. Now, let's just wait, and we'll reap the beautiful copper rewards. I seriously regret never ever making a proper auto smelter like this one. This is so convenient. It's amazing, really. It's so amazing that copper's not the only thing I smelted. No. Just for, you know, if I ever need it for an emergency or something, I have a whole shulker box of glass. That's right. The copper probably took maybe 10 minutes to get all smelted. And unfortunately, that's all the blocks it made. So we're gonna have to get a lot more copper here soon. But all this glass, maybe 15 to 20 minutes, which is pretty fast for a whole shulker box, dude. Oh my, oh, ah, whoa. Okay, well that brings me to my next point. I've been AFKing for a little bit, actually. And that is so I can show the next cool thing that this farm can do for us. You see, recently, I've been mining quite a bit for a little project that you guys are not going to see quite yet. But it's been taking up a lot of durability in my pickaxes. So, something we can do is this. Boom, boom, boom on these. These are constantly smelting. They are never not smelting. And I did already use this once before. I think it was a couple weeks ago, maybe. But since I've been spending so much time over here, I'm sure there's tons of XP loaded in this sucker. So let me take off some of my armor. I'll keep the elytra on. Here we go. Hold on. Here we go. Oh, I think it just fully repaired my elytra. Okay. A little disappointing there. All right. One more for this pickaxe. Oh, yeah, that's a bit better. All right, this one, sub to blue. Here we go. All right. We might get over half. There might be some hidden back. Oh, yeah, look at that. Look at that. It's almost fully repaired. And that's from, I don't know, a decent amount of time AFKing over here. But if I would have not pulled stuff out off camera, it probably would have fully repaired my pickaxes. Genuinely. And eventually, the other furnaces over here, if we just continue using them a lot, they will also have XP inside of them, which will be pretty sweet. But yeah, this is not a bad XP bank thingy. Not bad at all. It kind of gets us a good repair and some of our tools. But I think we're done over here. I think this is good. I'm very happy with this. Next time we come back, we're making a building around it, baby. But the next step in our preparation for the copper update, we need a proper place to do oxidization. Like, not just some random field over there. A good, proper building, which will go right over here. That is right. It is going to be on both sides of this pipe right here. And there's gonna be like a ladder right here. It'll be pretty sweet. It's not gonna be anything redstone-y because I'm not really sure how that would work. it's just a good place for us to put all the copper down and wait for it to eventually oxidize. So let's get to building. I have gotten a whole bunch of the farm done. Not really a farm, more of a station, as I said earlier. Before I show you what I have done, I need to remind you, it does not look pretty at the moment because all there is the farm. Someday in the future, you'll have to subscribe to see. We will put an exterior on the sucker, but at the moment, it's kind of ugly. Okay, it's kind of ugly, but it's working pretty good. Now, I did do a quick Google on how copper actually works, and you're not supposed to have it all bunched up. Actually, the best way for copper to oxidize is for it to be 4 blocks away from each other. Now, I just have them 2 blocks away from each other, and that is because I would rather have space than 100% efficiency. It seems to be working way better than having it all grouped up like I did over there. And I think there is an influence aspect to it. Like, I don't think this one will oxidize before any of these 3 right here, if that makes sense. Because these ones all have a fully oxidized one closer to it. And I've noticed that those are all oxidizing way faster than these ones. Oh, look at this. I think this one was the only one oxidized. It spreaded to this one. So, maybe what I'll have to do is put 2 fully oxidized blocks somewhere over here, and this will all look like a nicer interior at some point in the future, but at the moment this is what I have, okay? Yeah, this is pretty much what we're doing. We're just repeating this process. I would like to mention we have the tube going right through the middle, and I really like that. I think that's cool. It looks a little funny over here, but I mean, that's no big deal. It's the idea that there's a tube that can take gunpowder from the gunpowder farm through this area over here, and then it goes through the sugarcane farm right there. Oh man, it's so cool. Oh man, but I'm going to continue working on this. I would like to say I am really excited for what this place will look like. That is how high I'm gonna make this build go, okay? Let's look over here. I made a pillar of stone right there. That is how high I want it to go. Now, I had to think about what the skyline of this place looks like, and I think that's about what I want. This is going to be a very big building. I think it's going to be a little bit wider than that building than the sugarcane farm, but we'll see what happens. I'm pretty excited about it, though. Now it's time for a good old building montagio, whatever you want to call it. Me build audio, music, cool, super fast. Go! I am so excited about this new building that we're gonna have. Oh baby, the copper oxidizer station, whatever I called it earlier. I don't know what the name's gonna be yet. The place where we put all the copper blocks. It is looking ugly. It's looking ugly, okay? But my vision, okay? You guys can finally kind of get a sense of my vision of what this entire place is gonna look like when it's fully done. This will eventually look like a good looking building, just like the sugarcane farm right here. And chances are I'm not going to have any space. I'm going to put them, you know, right next to each other. There will be no alley right here, and they'll be connected. Now just imagine, guys. Just imagine another building right here. There will be a giant storage system right here. This whole area will be filled. Another farm right here. It'll be crazy. It'll feel like a downtown city looking thing. But it's really just an industrial empire. That is... I've always had visions of what I want it all to look like. And I know you guys obviously cannot read my mind. But we're getting to the point where we're starting to get to a place where there, you know, you can kind of see the idea. You can kind of see what I'm going for. Look over here. Look over here. I did some off-camera work. I added in this little bit. This used to just be a bunch of grass. Now you're kind of getting the feeling of what's going to be going on here. Imagine another building peeking out right there. Just imagine being in the middle and there's just buildings everywhere. Oh, baby. The plan is for there to be no more grass. All this grass will be gone. There'll just be industrial buildings everywhere. The only green will be the flower farm right there, and that'll be it. Oh, and I guess the cactus farm, but it's green blocks, not leaves. But oh baby, I am so excited. And of course, you know, the oxidizer, I might move these stairs to the middle. It's going pretty well. I think I'm going to put a water column, probably not right here, but maybe right here, going straight up. So, you know, there's 9 floors to this thing, guys. Whoops, uh-oh, I did not mean to do that. There's 9 floors to this thing. I did the math. 9 floors, each floor holds 30 blocks. 30 times 9 is like 200 something, and then 200 something divided by 64, it's about 4 stacks of copper blocks that we can oxidize at once. It does take a while, but I mean, if I'm just wandering around here, it seems to go by pretty fast. These ones are not quite there, and I think we're getting to the point where they're gonna be the original. Okay, there's an orange one, okay. Yeah, as you can see, this thing is very, 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 very tall. Oh my goodness. But yeah, up here is the fresh ones, and this is how tall the building will be. Slightly taller than... What are you doing in there? There's a wandering trader inside the smoke pit. It'll be slightly taller than the sugarcane farm, about the same height as the creeper farm, and a little bit shorter than the BAM tower over there. But I mean, look at this view. Look at this view, baby. Imagine another building right there. There's just gonna be buildings all over this thing. It's awesome. I am so freaking excited. This place is really, really coming together. I think that's all we're gonna do for today. I think now it is time for the Tower of the Awesome People. Today's Tower of the Awesome People is gonna be a little different than usual. I feel like I suffer from something called imposter syndrome, where I don't quite believe that people actually enjoy my videos. I know people click on them at least, but there's a part of me that believes that they click off after 30 seconds of watching. And I mean, I really, really do believe that. But every now and then, I get comments from people that really just make my day. No, they make my week. And whenever I'm down and kind of, you know, not really enjoying making videos, you know, unmotivated, I remember those comments, and they just give me that motivation back, you know, it's just so special. So today, for the Tower of the Awesome People, thank you, these are the 2 people, AsterWise7013 and Hannah G8193, and Hannah G, I think the G might have been your last name, maybe, I'm not too sure, but it was also too long for the sign, so I shortened it to Hannah G. I hope that is okay. Thank you too for the super, super nice comment. That is so kind. I'm not joking. when it literally made my day. Made my week, man. Oh man, it's one of those comments that I think about whenever I'm not motivated to make a video, and I realize people do care. People do like my videos, and that's awesome, and I am so glad I get to entertain you guys. And also, thank you for the comment, Celtic Mestizo. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But yeah, that's... I'm not very good at, like, the emotional stuff, but truly, thank you guys so much. And, of course, if you want in on the next episode, comment on this one. Well, not the next episode. If you want in on the next sign, comment on this video right here, episode 43. Don't know what the name of it is yet, because I gotta finish it. But yes, thank you guys for the comments, and thank you for making my day. There's one more thing I want to do in today's episode, and that is the off-camera stuff that I've been up to. I usually don't show the progress or anything on camera, because usually it's not super interesting, but a few things I've been up to. First of all, this area up here, in between Vivid Valley and Cyan Industries, I've been working, baby. I'm planning out the river that's going to come through here. I have not filled in the pond up here, but I've been terraforming, trying to get rid of this stony edge right here, but at the same time, making sure there's no leaves being shown on the Cyan Industries side. I'm trying to make it all look natural, but not ruining the look on the other side, which is easier said than done, unfortunately. And something really big that I got done off camera is I've finished the pollution, except for that small little patch of grass. The pollution around Cyan Industries is almost done, apparently. Get that patch of grass, and I need to pale woodify this house right here, but then the pollution is pretty much done. Besides, maybe I'll throw in some more, slime pockets. Maybe I'll throw in some more lava here and there. Maybe some other weird things. And I think I gotta light some more of it up, but it is done. I mean, look at this terraform pollution mountain looking thing. Oh baby, it's done, it's done. Finally. It's probably been over a year since I decided that I'm gonna try to pollute everything around Cyan Industries. I think over on this side over here, this is where I started the whole project about a year ago. And I think if I were to start it again, I think it'd be a lot different, but I had already made it in that one certain way. I just decided, let's just commit to it and make everything look like it. And I think it's fine. It's definitely not perfect, but I think it's fine. Definitely pretty good for our first mega project in this world. Trust me, we will have more. Enough of that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week. And I will see you in the next one. Goodbye!